Hi, I'm Jason MacIsaac, and this is Sharing and Pairing. Today we're going to do Mussels Provençal, steamed mussels, and the perfect gin and tonic. So the mussels we have today are from Salt Spring Island. They're very lovely, very delicate, and wonderful. We're going to steam them with some gin and a little bit of vermouth, heirloom tomatoes, Italian parsley, garlic, and some white onion. Previously, I had used heirloom tomatoes for a goat's cheese and tomato terrine, and we used the leftover tomatoes. We reserved them, kept them in a dish, and today we're going to use them as a part of this mussels dish. So we're going to take some pieces of heirloom tomato and chop them quite roughly. And we'll just put them in the dish here. Oops. There's a couple of cherry tomatoes we can throw in there. This doesn't have to be pretty at all because it's getting all steamed together. So we don't have to worry about perfection. And I think with heirloom tomatoes, using every bit of the tomato in this dish, seeds, skins, everything, is just fine. Heirloom tomatoes, you can find them at some grocery stores. You can find them at farm stands, at farmers markets, and some restaurants as well. I love using them because they have big tomato taste, sweetness, and using different kinds of heirloom tomatoes, different varieties, give you different textures and different flavors, different acidities, different sweetness. They really are one of my favorite ingredients to use, one of my favorite vegetables or fruits, whatever you want to consider them. There we go. So we have all of our leftover tomatoes chopped up, added to this dish, this bowl here. We're going to add some garlic. Just get the skin off by giving it a little bump. The back side of the knife comes off quite easily. And then, yes, I am going to use a garlic press. That is a really nice garlic, so this will just do a quick chop on the stuff that was inside of the press too. And we will dice this onion very fine. Just a quick wipe. You can also use shallots for this. You'll only need about 1/4 of an onion for this dish, so you can keep the rest of the 3/4 for something else that you're making. Add this to the tomatoes and garlic. Go. And also some fresh, very beautiful, also from a farm stand, Italian flat-leaf parsley. Give it a rough chop. This is a good technique for chopping parsley, is you bring it up into a little bit of a pile, put your hand at the end of the knife, but not too much pressure, just lightly to guide it, and keep the tip on the board for the most part. One more time. Go. Add the parsley to the mix. I'll just add half of that. Just give my hands a little rinse. Now we'll mix all these ingredients together. Wonderful. And then we will get our mussels, which are magically right here in this dish, ready to go. Salt Spring Island mussels, very fresh, very lovely. We will be very gentle with the mussels. When you're taking them out of the fridge or out of the container and putting them into your pan or your pot, put them in very gently or else the shells will crack. For the most part, if you get the mussels from your local fish shop, you can bring them and use them that day straight away. Maybe you can give them a rinse if you like. I don't think it's necessary entirely. If you keep them in the fridge for more than a day, I would recommend giving them a rinse, and maybe keep them on top of some ice on top of them to keep them fresh, and something they can drain into, if that makes sense, like a colander with a bowl underneath. So we will add our lovely mixture here, and we'll incorporate it gently. There we go. We will add a generous pinch of salt. And a judicial amount of pepper. Some Seaside Gin. not necessarily measured, and some dry white wine or some dry vermouth. The total combination of wine and gin would be approximately half a cup to 3/4 of a cup. Now we'll mix them once again, if the liquid is in there, and season with salt and pepper. When you're cooking this dish, it's nice to have a wider pot with a bit of a wall, so that the mussels are one level, because if they're stacked up too hard or too high on top of each other, the bottom ones might have a little bit of trouble opening. So if you can give them a space and have one, maybe two layers, it's a great way to go. So we'll put the lid back on, bring it over to the stove, and turn it on to maximum. And while that's cooking, we will make our gin and tonic. The perfect gin and tonic. So here's the recipe. A short rocks glass, topped up with ice completely to the top. There we go. Seaside Gin, of course. 1.5 ounces of Seaside Gin. And I don't have my opener. We'll use half a bottle or 100 mils of the Fever Tree tonic. This is the Fever Tree Light. It's very nice. Just top it up. We will give it a little stir. Give it a little stir. And for garnish, we're going to use a sprig of tarragon. We'll give it a little smack to get the oils activated and open up. Give it another little stir to get that tarragon in there. There we go. You don't have to garnish it with tarragon. Normally I don't garnish my gin and tonic, but it's fun. So, just see how our mussels are doing. We'll give them a gentle turn. Not quite up to a simmer yet. Once it does come up to a simmer, it will take about 2 minutes until it's complete. When serving these mussels, what I like to do at home or with friends is bring the whole dish that the mussels and the shellfish are cooked in right to the table, and have everyone gathered around with their bowls and plates and do a reveal. So you open it up, and the steam, the freshness, and the aroma of everything really just kind of hits everyone. It's always a fun way to do it. You can bring all the vegetables and aromatics and wine up to a boil first and then add the mussels, but I like to add everything at the same time and just cook it all together. You'll know the mussels are done cooking when all of them are open and it's ready to serve. Okay, once it's come up to a rip-roaring boil for about 2 minutes and all the mussels are open, you can turn it off. Bring it over to your serving area. Have everyone gather around, make sure everyone has their gin and tonic ready in their bowls. And have your serving dish ready. Wonderful. Serve your guests or have them serve themselves. Ooh, the spoon has some holes in it. Make sure you have a spoon that can pick up some of this wonderful juice and liquid in there. Oops. There we go. Mussels Provençal and perfect gin and tonic. I can't wait to eat this.